I've been playing a ton of poker lately at the Red Rock in the Win, and I'm having such an amazing time. It's been fun. This video is going to be a compilation of a ton of my all-in hands. Let me know in the comments below if you think I played these hands correctly or not, because sometimes even when you win an all-in pot, you're not a percentage favorite when the money goes in. How's my playing been on these hands? I've been connecting with a ton of hands tonight. This time I have 7-9 of hearts, and I decide to raise to 15.
I have it again.
Guy limp before me. I got a call behind me.
Every
caller.
hand.
All right.
3 folds. The guy who goes all in
140.
And he's got 140, which makes it a 125 more to call. And I decide to call because in this game I think he's got a higher pocket pair, and I have a good hand to potentially crack that. And I'm correct. He's got pocket kings, and with the dead money in the pot, I decide to make the call. We're headed to a run out. There's $326 in the pot. Let's see the run out. It comes ace, king, deuce. He flops second set. I'm gonna be dead. I am dead. 8 of hearts on the turn, 3 of spades on the river. The dealer pushes him the pot. Maybe I shouldn't have called that hand. We're back at the Red Rock, and I got the second best hand in poker, pocket kings. I raise it to 15. I'm playing 1-2. Couple folds. The small blind calls. Big blind also calls. We're going 4 ways. Under the gun called as well. The flop comes out. Jack 8-3 rainbow. They all check to me. I'm definitely going to continue on this flop. I bet for 30 into 60. That's a half pot bet. The small blind calls and both the other players fold. We're now heads up. The dealer puts out the turn card, and it's the 5 of clubs. Another good card for my hand. My opponent checks, and I throw in a big size bet. I bet 75 now. The pot's about 120 at this point. And he starts cutting out raising chips. He raises it up to 150, a min raise. Usually anytime an opponent does that, it's pretty scary. But I've been kind of under-repping my hand. I don't think he puts me on pocket kings right now, so I make the call. Then we got the river card, which is the ace of clubs. Dangerous card for us. And our opponent just goes all in into us. He leads out. I make the call. I'm pot committed at this point. He flips over pocket aces, and we muck our hand. Brutal hand, aces versus kings. I got 6-7 of diamonds. We're playing 1-3 no limit at the Win. I'm in middle position. I raise it up to 12. I like that hand, as we all know. I got a caller behind me. Button folds, small blind calls. And the last player goes all in for 35 bucks. So there's 4 players in the pot. One of them's all in. I'm going to make the call for 35. And the other 2 players, first one calls, second one calls. We're going 4 ways to the flop. We have 1 all in and then a side pot. So unless we hit big here, we're probably not going to put much more money into the pot. But we do flop an open-ended straight draw. It comes 8-9 king. 2 spades, and they're thinking the same thing I'm thinking, unless you smash it. But we turn a straight, and the flush doesn't come. I turn a straight 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I bet 45 bucks. Unless they have Jack Queen, I have the nuts right now. Guy behind me folds. They both fold. Take my money back. The river comes out. I'm playing against the original all-in player. I show the straight, and he mucks his cards. I take the pot. Nice hand for 6-7 when you hit a straight. I'm in late position playing at the Win. I got King Jack offsuit. This is a straddled pot to 6. I raise it up to 20 bucks to go. I take the lead on position. The button folds, small blind calls. Big blind folds, the straddler calls. We're going 3 ways to the flop here. The dealer puts out the flop, and it's a good one. King, deuce, 6, rainbow. But strangely enough, the small blind leads out for 20. The straddle calls, it's back to me. I just call here, seeing how they're gonna react on the turn. I got top pair. 3 of clubs comes out on the turn, and he keeps on betting. This time he bets, I think, 45 bucks. The straddle folds. I decided to cut out some raising chips because I want to see where my opponent is at, and I have a strong hand here. I make it 115 to go. He's got about 250 behind him. If he calls this, he'll be left with about, and he just goes all in. That is not good for us at all. He moves all in. He let out on the flop. He let out on the turn. He moves all in. There's no way I could possibly be good here, in my opinion. I have a king with a jack. It's 150 more. I'm thinking I'm probably going to fold this hand. He's probably got a set. I don't think he has 2 pair considering the board that's out there, but I think he has ace king at the minimum. I'm under the gun with not that many chips, and I look down at king 6 of clubs. I call the 2. We get a caller, fold, the button calls, small blind calls. We're going 5 ways to the flop, only for $2 each. The flop comes out king, queen, deuce, rainbow. I bet out for 5. Not much money in the pot. That's a half pot bet. And it ends up being heads up to the turn.
Checking the deck.
There's now 20 in the pot. The 5 of clubs comes. That's a great card for me. My opponent checked dark on this street. I bet out for 15 because I improved my hand greatly here, picking up a flush draw. My opponent check raised me. I'm insta calling with that hand for sure. She announces she is a queen.
It's less.
Which is good for me, obviously. I just need to dodge whatever her other card is. The jack of diamonds is the river. She flips over a queen. I flip over king, and I win the pot. We're at my favorite poker room today, the Win. I got king, queen offsuit in late position. We have a limper, another limper. The pot then gets raised to 30 bucks by the guy in front of me. I have about 160 in total here. So I'm thinking I'm going to put in a raise that's going to force me to go all in on the flop, whatever the flop comes out. So I make a raise. I bet 85 bucks. So it went limp, call, raise to 30, 3 bet to 85. Now it's on the button. The button makes a flat call, which shows significant strength. Flat calling. It gets back to the guy who raised to 30. He makes the fold. Now we're headed to the flop. And I shove all in. I go all in blind. I'm on tilt. This was the end of the night. I had been losing a bunch of hands, so I just went all in. The dealer puts out the flop, and it's going to be on the button. Queen, 10, 8. The button calls, the deuce of clubs. I flop top pair with the queen, but my opponent somehow had queen, and we lose. I was sitting down at 2-5 no limit at the Red Rock, and I picked up pocket 3s, which is the high hand promotion hand. I raised 15, and there's 3 callers. We're going 4 ways to the flop, and bingo. King, 3, 4. It comes 2 clubs. I bet about half pot, 35. I get 2 callers. We're going to the turn. And there's the 9 of hearts. It's a great turn card for me. I'm thinking one of my opponents probably has a king with a strong kicker, and then one of them probably has a flush draw. The turn comes. I lead out for 85. And we get 1 caller to the river. Let's see what the river is. We got a big pot brewing, and it's the 9 of clubs. That's an amazing card. I make a full house. The flush gets there. My opponent leads into me for 200. I go all in. He has about 500 more behind, but he doesn't even think about it. He snap calls. I show him the 3-3, and immediately he's tilted because he has the nut flush. And the crazy thing about it is I also won the high hand of 200 bucks for hitting a full house with pot.